Welcome to the Hockey One Weekly Wrap. Thanks to JDH, supporting Australian hockey from grassroots to grandstands. My name is Liam Ellison, and joined alongside me on this Sunday Arvo to talk all things round 6 is Kin Smith. And Kin, let's get straight into it. Starting off on the Friday night, and the Brisbane Blaze headed to the nation's capital.
And what a slog for the Brisbane Blaze, getting the points in the end. But the Canberra Chill really jumped out of the blocks. They led, and it took a massive fight back from the Brisbane side to keep themselves right up in the top two of the ladder. It was late, even in the interview, Jake DeWetton, he wasn't happy. They said they were going to talk about a lot of things, but it just, I think, encapsulates Canberra Chill's season as well. So close on so many situations, so positive, so much talent, but they just couldn't hold out what is a title contending Brisbane Blaze team. Canberra Chill head to Melbourne next week.
And the Adelaide Firemen, really, they are one of the feel-good stories, I reckon, of this season.
Well, absolutely outstanding, from not winning a game to currently, as we finish this round, in the top 4. And everyone was looking at this game, and we knew that if they could get pressure on the net, Jed Snowden had another most valuable player of the game performance, and this goal from Hugh Snowden got it all started. Max Larkin under the net, back from Joe Hoare, but unable to keep out Hugh Snowden. And it was the positivity and the aggressive play of the Adelaide Fire, happy to use their pace and the aerial route. Fraser He with a couple of penalty stroke goals as well.
And on Sunday, of course, New South Wales kept with the trend, the away teams all getting the victories.
Yeah, Tim Brand, the player of the game, on the screen there, and it was some of his work through the attacking midfield and forward that set New South Wales up. But it was really close when the Perth Thundersticks came out, really putting some physical pressure on. What a touch from Flynn Ogilvie. This game went right down to the wire, especially with the late goal by Tom Wickham.
And this result puts some pressure as well on the Perth Thundersticks. Let's look at where things sit on the ladder at the conclusion of round 6.
Tassie Tigers are done for their games for the season. They wait to see the outcome. It is them in 3rd and the Adelaide Fire in 4th that are the ones that are under threat from the 5th and 6th place teams, Perth Thundersticks and HC Melbourne. Those games, the Melbourne versus Canberra Chill game next Friday, decides the fate of their season. Before then, Tassie will be watching New South Wales versus the Fire.
Let's turn our attention to the women's competition now, Ken. And on Friday night, of course, it was in Canberra. This one, very close.
Yeah, and a couple of really great goals, especially in the start of the second half. Kalindi Comerford got her team really humming. This was the strike off the right foot, and look what it means to them, turns to the crowd. The Canberra Chill playing with a lot of freedom, and they were missing Rasheen Upton too, who I think has been one of the stories of the tournament in regards to the quality that she's brought. They took it to a shootout and then managed, with Katie Mullen, the Irish sensation, was able to give them the shootout win over the Brisbane Blaze.
There's a good feel about the Canberra Chill at the moment, and another good crowd in attendance as well to celebrate. And Tasmania on your Saturday night, that was a 2-1 victory to the Tigers.
So close, both these teams were looking for their first win, and Tassie got on the board nice and early, and they were able to go there. But I think the Adelaide Fire, eventually with some of their own play, were able to finish and ended up with a great result.
And of course, we head over to Perth for the Sunday call as well. And this scoreline mirrored the result earlier in the afternoon. As we see the highlights now on your screen, the Pride 3-1, Kin.
Well, this was in the first 15 seconds of the game, and it was the work of Alice Arnott, her strength in the circle. Look at the quality of the finish from Mariah Williams, one of the best in not only the nation but the world, and we love watching her play. Sensational from Maddie Smith. But this game was about both teams playing in a positive, aggressive nature. They were pressing high, they were running back. There was no dour defensive block from either team. Look at the quality of goals they're scoring. Do yourself a favour and watch that one again. That is hockey of the highest order.
New South Wales inflicting Perth's first loss of the season. They'd only allowed 2 goals to that point, and then the Pride put 3 past them on your Sunday arvo to come away with a victory. Let's look at how things sit as well on the ladder with a round to go.
Well, it's a similar story. So the Adelaide Fire, their season over after their win over the Tassie Tigers, but it does come down to that 4th and 5th spot. It really is in the hands of HC Melbourne to shape this top 4. If they get the win, they can actually go to 2nd, depending. Of course, there'll be results after that, but if they don't win, it's all over.
5's got to go into 4, doesn't it? And we've got, of course, a round to come here on round 7. We'll look at the schedule in just a moment. but the One Hockey Cup as well. Firstly, of course, the aggregate between both games of the doubleheader. Let's see how that shapes up, Ken.
Yeah, and we're seeing the teams that have basically both their teams in the finals, the men's women's competition. At the top, the New South Wales Pride, Brisbane Blaze, New South Wales Pride back into the four now. So there's no wonder they've been doing well. Perth Thundersticks, their women's side, propping up their aspirations for the One Hockey Cup, but a great initiative across the competition.
It's going to go down to the wire, just the one goal difference between the Brisbane Blaze and the New South Wales Pride. So really, it all pans out and comes down to round 7. And let's look at the schedule. Of course, Kin, kicking off on Friday night between the Canberra Chill and HC Melbourne.
I think this is the game that sets up really the complexion of the weekend, and both these teams, both the men's and women's side, especially for HC Melbourne, it comes down. It is do or die in that respect. They're out of the four, and their fate is in their own hands. And the feel-good story on the men's perspective, the Adelaide Fire, if they could do the impossible and beat the New South Wales Pride, then that might just throw another little aspect to the game. But Brisbane Blaze, Thundersticks, men's and women's games, I think they're going to be of the highest quality. I don't think you can miss any of the games this weekend.
And of course, don't forget we have a Punjabi call as well for the Friday night game between Rupinder Pal Singh's Canberra Chill and Hockey Club Melbourne that will go live on 7+. Make sure you tune into that one as well. That's going to be terrific. You'll be on the call as well on 7+, so we'll have both calls going for that game. That's going to be terrific. Well, that's all we've got time for the Hockey One Weekly Wrap. Thanks very much for joining us. Of course, all thanks and made possible by JDH, supporting Australian hockey from grassroots to grandstands. We'll catch you next time.